Hey guys, welcome back to the letter. This is TJ Gamer Girl signing on. So, last episode, things have just gotten worse with the spirit, and now Ash seems to have somewhat come around, considering Zack, Isabella, and Rebecca have come to him about this problem. He's starting to take this a bit more seriously. At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. Little of the bustle matters to them as they step out of the crowded walkway, however. Ash especially. There's only his goal in mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long ago before they made the decision to drop by. But despite this, Isabella lags behind. A worried crease is back on her forehead as she watches Ash leave to get his car.
Something wrong, Bella?
No, Actually, can you check on Becca for me after this? I really didn't get the chance to tell her where I'm headed off to. Tell her I'm okay, and No, just that. That's all.
You sure I should skip on that part? If she finds out about this, she'll be angry. I don't really want to deal with angry Rebecca. It gives me a stomachache just thinking about it.
Neither do I, but I'll handle it if she gets mad. Just make sure she's safe and tell her to be careful. You too. Take care of yourself.
Almost abruptly, she pauses, the gaze in her eyes hardening as she lapses into another one of those long-distance silences from earlier. This ain't just because of the whole fiasco with the letter anymore.
I don't want what happened to Rose to happen to you guys as well.
This one cut deeper. Before I can ask about it, Ashton returns, casually swinging his car keys on one hand and gestures at Isabella.
Come on, we don't have much time. Shirley's waiting.
Who's sure? Oh, right. Don't answer that. I don't want to hear it, you huge dork.
Says the person who gave her stuffed toys names. Batcat? Really?
It's cute. Yours is just weird. I'll see you later, Zack.
She spares me another smile as I watch her walk off. Only now did it occur to me that none of those she gave today ever did reach her eyes. I make a grab for the back of Ash's parka. He staggers briefly before correcting himself and shooting a confused stare.
Is she alright?
What? Who's okay?
Isabella. She's been, I don't know, out of it today? Did something happen earlier?
Scowl on his face says it all.
She's actually been like that this morning. I'll ask, but...
Just do me a favor and watch over her. We have no idea what we're dealing with. I don't know what happened to her since the last time I saw her, but from how she's been doing today, whatever it is, seems like a pretty big deal. Wait, you didn't annoy her again, did you? Because I swear to God, if you did, you've got another thing coming for you.
What? No, why would I? Just so you know, I already apologized for the one at the movie house. Granted, she deserved more of an apology, but I meant it that time.
I'm just asking. I'll take your word for it. But if you can find out what's bothering her, that'd be nice. Honestly, I don't think it's the letter this time.
I'll see what I can do.
Make sure you keep yourself out of harm's way, alright?
Yeah, you too. Don't do anything reckless again.
Reckless, no. But I can't make you to promise I won't do anything. After seeing that, there's no way in hell I'm going to pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
He's about to argue for a moment, but...
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, alright? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want. But please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I have no idea if it's the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
All right, stay safe, Zack.
When he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole, I like to think the tiny gleam in his eye is the closest we can get to optimism in this situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. October 30th. Night falls and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard. With Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was, and the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach, it's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off even for a little while. It's not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for another reason than just to pass time. Though, if I am going to be honest, it's not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and the hope I'll hear from Ash or Isabella soon. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end of the table where my phone still lies. I've not heard from them since they left. They haven't promised to call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have the common sense at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the concern stretching now the minutes far longer than usual, it's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help when the clock finally strikes 3. My hand stills. It'd be a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat that brief second. My whole body is gone motionless, ears straining for any further sounds. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations ain't anything new. Every now and then, this would happen, even a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating again hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant, this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered about the table. The cameras, body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand could reach, but in the resulting panic, like in the nightmares, it's the scent that reaches me first. A foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. My fingers clamp tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body as if the tiny thing would provide me enough protection to whatever is with me in the room. It won't. But it's the only comfort I have. And knowing that whoever she is, she had once been human. Perhaps not all of it is gone. Perhaps some of it is still there.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me. The soft scuttling over the walls, followed by the squelch and painful creaking of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers at camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
I can help you. Whatever it is that keeps you here, I can help. That's what the letter's for, ain't it? You don't have to keep taking people's lives.
There was a brief moment of silence, and for a short while, I think my pleas worked. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes, and along with it are the sobs of a woman. The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque, misshapen features before it is once again lost in darkness. All of a sudden, her tune changes. No longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound. And the next thing I knew, my hand is gripping the knob, which I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to mind or my pulse settles down. And yet, dry leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who's always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. Or Isabella, who frequently checks hers for any messages and readily responds as soon as she can afford. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word of where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'll likely be at this time. The sun has already peaked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I got here. There's Ashton, first and foremost. Part of me wishes my assumptions are correct and he's really somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing. Even after I made a round of the immediate vicinity, I could find neither hide nor hair of him. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal is here. He can't be too far if he's really here, but if he is, he would have already noticed me by now. Instead, there's only silence. The kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees that seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion, oblivious to what's happening around it. A small island of stillness in the otherwise fast-paced world. No wonder the whole of Anselm feels at odds with the rest of Luxburn. While the city is alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving, unchanged. It's not surprising that the legend still lives up to this day, and why she's still here, walking its hollowed halls. And beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash is not here, I've still got to let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. And whatever grievance Ash has with them, doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. And I'm sure Isabella wouldn't want the same thing. I head straight for the door without a second thought. It takes a few rings, the sound loud above the foreboding stillness before I hear footsteps on the other side.
God and damn it! Only a Nazi would knock at such an ungodly hour. Where's that damn butler when I need him?
Hello, Luke. That shadow behind you isn't exactly pleasant, I'll tell you that much. Before long, the door swings widely open with Mr. Luke Wright standing behind it. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Like this, I've got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You? How the hell did you get in here? What in 7 hells do you want? It's bloody 6 in the morning!
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time. Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't. Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I can get a word in, he slams the door to my face and bolts it shut with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe if it was Mrs. Wright. Ah, who am I kidding? There are limits to how far a person will believe in you. Then again, I didn't believe Isabella when she warned us. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people, even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless?
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What did they do to you? I can help you, you know? If it'll let you move on, I'll gladly do so. You don't have to kill anyone.
Nothing. I don't even know who I'm talking to, or if a sane person's supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. Out of other options and any other ideas, I let my hands slide off the door's surface and fall listlessly to my sides. I can go back to Luxburn, try to find the others, try to get out of this mess with them, or let them know how much in deep shit we all are. Both sound good. Either way, my learning here ain't helping at all. I let the quietness calm me for a few moments before standing up and heading to fetch my bike. It's quite a distance to Luxburn, but if I hurry, I'll reach it in maybe... The rustling stops as soon as I turn around, and I strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he is here, and I've just missed him earlier, already my feet are moving in search of him for the second time. Won't hurt to double check. Triple check even. How big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that lives are at stake, I'd probably have just waited for him to show up again.
But damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That it's not just a petty criminal like he can simply throw him in jail. That's something beyond the authority his police badge could ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing with the big damn hero. Sit down and chill. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasps by the time I make it back to where I started. Still no sign of him, and I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting time here. But that is when I hear it. I'd recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song. I listen for a while, trying to gauge exactly where from the house it's coming from. My feet start to moving before I can stop them. And there, as I circle a corner, from a room on the first floor, a single window is open, but I can't make out whoever's inside. However, I'm sure the singing comes from there. Still, while I'll hear an old tune here of all places, I won't know. It's not an obscure song by all means, but it is pretty rare to find someone who knows this. And for some reason, Dad seems to follow this song around. Panic lodges itself at the base of my throat at once. Whoever's humming might be... I don't want to be a pessimist now, but on the off chance that it's Miss Wright?
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I could put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash tells me so in the exact same words. Might even write me a dissertation. Why that is a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it, god damn it! Someone could be in danger. Oh boy. This could end badly. On either part. Enter the open window. We'll be caught for trespassing. But keep looking for Ash. Someone might end up dead. The last thing I want is to get arrested, but I don't. I keep looking for Ash. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The half that has spent too much time around Ash. It's right though, the reasonable part. If I do force my way in and find something unpleasant, how am I going to fight back? With my camera? Fatal frame that shit. But worse is you might be arrested for trespassing. Actually, no, that's breaking and entering. Trespassing is primarily when you enter the property. When you step onto the property without... That's stepping onto the property. What we would have done had we charged in there is breaking and entering. No matter how you look at it, that's simply asking for a painful death.
I have a better chance if I find Ash. What is he snooping about?
Perhaps I should try the forest? Make around farther into the gardens? Not a sound plan, but it's better than nothing. The woman's soft sobs have subsided by some means. Almost inaudible to the point where I'm wondering if I truly heard what I heard. I didn't get to dwell much on it, though, because right at the moment my phone rings. The sharp notes piercing through the thick quietude. I clamp a hand over it, pressing a button before the speakers are close to my ear.
Are you?
I only caught the tail end of the person's greeting on the other side, but I know the voice well enough.
What was that, Ash? Could you repeat that? Signal shitty here.
I asked, where are you? Hell, Zack, I've been calling your number for a good 20 minutes now. What kind of shithole did you get into?
Good morning to you, too. I should be asking you that question. I've been looking all over the mansion for you. I thought you'd be...
What mansion?
Do I really need to answer that?
Why are you even... No, No, wait. Just get your ass here at Isabella's place, and hurry.
I shift my gaze to the mansion, specifically at the window I heard the cries from. There's nothing of it now, not even echoes.
How urgent is this?
Pressing enough for you to stop asking questions and get yourself here. Please, Zack.
That gives me a pause. It's a rare thing for him to take on that tone.
I'll be there in a few. An hour or two tops.
Thanks. I'll see you.
I rush back to my bike as soon as the call ends. Without another look, I leave the mansion along with its haunting melodies and grim echoes behind. There are more important things than my own curiosity and impulses. And now we're on Mariannes Chapter! Okay. 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 Well, it's kind of a long one, too. 7:15 p.m. The numbers are so little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse, jeez. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is, first and foremost, my priority. I have to sit tight when my personal assistant Chris tells me we have a big one coming up, and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on the who's who and the what's what when it comes to these socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama, or their politics. These sort of who were born with silver spoons in their mouths and who were used to wagging their silver tongues about. I let them handle the negotiating with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd receive a message about it an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know. To an extent. Sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is a, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go and send them a design, or something like that. Really, that's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who's heard of me from their equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all well and good and reasonable. We'll figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for their project, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Beruthiel for you. Just please take this one project. I promise, this person is huge in Luxborn. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCulloch, hereinafter called the Designer. Oh, it's from Johan! As authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter called the client, for interior design work at Emmergard Mansion, Luxborn, LX18 ORF, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer there on the 21st October, Friday, with the time pending. But as I open the mail to see that I've been requested by the client specifically? Well, I certainly didn't expect that. It's pretty straightforward, too. Anyone else would probably be excited. They would be working with the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune such nonsense out. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded for me to take a project before. We've worked with big personalities in the past. Celebrities, bankers, even a few politicians. My PA has been indifferent about those. So the question bounced about my skull before I spy one of the email attachments. Newspaper clipping from the Luxborn Daily's business news section, boasting the headline, Wright Enterprise donates £2.5 million to refuge. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently, they'd invited businessmen and socialites everywhere in the guise of it being some big business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow. Here I am expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt. But the woman that was plastered on the front page looked like she belongs on the front page of some of the entertainment section or even, if I'm to be crass, as the pinup for a glamour. Okay, I'll be real here. A men's magazine. She sure knows how to rock that dress. Wait. Her eyes, her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. And at the same time, she is her, only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. The world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach out for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet, I still don't move from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. I can only stare until I can will myself to reply that, yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me just to close the image, shut down the computer, and leave. Even then, it's already burned its image into my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. Makes me eager for the alcohol in the company. Makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. The Galway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequent the place, is the only decent Irish pub in this country. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I moved to Luxburn. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It has good alcohol, good company, and, thank God and St. Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like Bothy Noise, the High Wesleyan Ben, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best way to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus, and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What better time to try and sing all my worries away? That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
Damn, if that's the actress, she's good. But drinking only reminds me of home, and the thought of home makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Of course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I'm gonna at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride-to-be. So give her a hand, Galway shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise among the pub's patrons. But, possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as I need to belt out in the front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And I forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good. You rock, Marianne. Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh? Read 'em and wait, bitches.
Oh, that's a interesting title. Kamalas, or Kamalas, Kamala? Cam's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am. But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, if something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor, I can't be happier for my friend now.
Cheers! Cheers.
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I? Haruna. It's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice potion. She's such a nice potion. I'm going to drink every last bit of her. Okay. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio. And she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. I'm happy that she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. We met in yoga class, something I joined to keep myself in shape, and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I'd moved to Luxburn. Clearly, it worked like a charm. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought on my lucky D20 die with me on that first date. No, sir. Dungeons and Dragons fan, eh? I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man. And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it. You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk will be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right? Hey, look at me. I'm Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
Oh, are you all Dungeons and Dragons fans? I mentioned druids and demons once. Once! They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I'm a far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons. Especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right. Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. How do you know you don't have a ring anymore? Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone. What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder they tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulders and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
I know that they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Kamala notices my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Alright, I'm gonna end the episode here. We'll continue this in the next one. Something tells me we might find out what's going on in Ash's chapter? I don't know. Maybe? Well, till then, this is Gamer Girl, signing off. Bye-bye.